In Hermitcraft Season 10, Scar built these insane redwood trees, and today we're going to answer the question, how did he do it? Now, redwoods are basically just pine trees on steroids, so instead of reinventing the wheel, we'll use the same approach. If you only care about the final build, feel free to skip till the end of the video. Otherwise, stick for the basics. We can split conifer trees into two main shapes. First, your classic Christmas tree, and second, this, whatever I'm supposed to call this shape. These are actually the easiest trees to build in Minecraft, because they always have a completely straight trunk. So that's exactly what we're trying to bring into Minecraft here. I might also copy it to the right, since we're going to build both types. As we go up, the trunk gets thinner and thinner, and right at the top we close it up with fences. Keep in mind that just like with deciduous trees, the crown is bigger than you think. You don't want your tree to end up looking like that. Now for the branches. There are two main growth patterns you'll notice. This triangular layout, as well as this almost circular one. See that slight bend in the branches? This happens because gravity is pulling on them and gives the tree its characteristic shape. The higher we go up the trunk, the smaller those branches get. With all that said, let's bring it into Minecraft. Now, how do I tackle my branches? Well, this is usually about the transition I use. I start off with slabs and ended up with trapdoors and fence gates. The higher you go up with the branches, the thinner I'm trying to get. So in the back you can see that I'm using walls, fences and fence gates. So let's bring this into Minecraft. With the left tree done, let's jump right into the next one. With a circular shape, branches grow in the star-like pattern, and only bend right at the very end. Now let's bring all of this into Minecraft. I'm basically just copying our reference here. Keep the branches thin, that's why I'm using fence gates and fences, and don't forget that little bend at the tip. That's what I'm trying to achieve by using trapdoors. At this point the stem is done. Now comes shading. First, pick a gradient that fits your tree. I'm going more orange on the right one and more brown on the left. You'll see that I will move away from the original gradient a bit, since I didn't like how it looked on the trees. The brightest parts will be the bottom of the trunk and the tips of your branches. That's where light actually reaches the tree stem. The darkest shadows will be directly underneath the branches and right where the branches start. Bring that into Minecraft and this is what you end up with. Now for the needles. For a classic Christmas tree, a branch looks like this from the top. Since those bits are too small to build, we'll fake it with leaf patterns that give the same impression. This is how I'm bringing this into Minecraft, and for now I will be using spruce leaves only. Take a look how I'm only using singular blocks at the very top of the tree to achieve branches. For the second tree, we'll cover more directions with our leaf placements. Leave a few bold spots, but still keep the overall shape consistent. Notice how it's still very wide at the top? Now let's bring this into Minecraft. To finish it off, we can shade both trees with Axiom. I'm using a transition from azalea leaves to oak leaves to spruce leaves here. If you don't like that, you can just leave it as it is. Let's take a second to take a look what can be done with what we've built so far. Now for the part you've actually been waiting for. How did Scar achieve this look? Well, he basically took a pine tree, upscaled it, and did an insanely good job at coloring. So let's repeat the same steps that we did on a smaller scale before. And I'll be teaching you exactly how. Start with a straight trunk again, but this time we're using a 5x5 base. As we go up, be careful not to thin too fast, otherwise your tree's gonna end up looking like that. Yeah, big chungus. You'll notice pretty quickly how massive these trees really get. To keep things smooth, I'm using walls, and sometimes even glass planes for cleaner transitions. I'm trying to shade while I'm going upwards, but shading after shaping is usually the easier way. I'm just having a lot of experience, so I'm just going for that. Following our recipe, let's add some branches now. But now we can go way bigger. When it comes to shading, at this scale we can play way more with lighting. Our light source is over here, the left side branches can be brighter. Still I try to keep the difference relatively subtle, since very extreme shading only really works for pictures most of the time. So let's bring that into Minecraft. Now we can close it out with needles. Remember to go for zigzag-like patterns. This is roughly what it should end up like. For one of the last steps, we're going to auto-shade the leaves again with Axiom. And as a final touch, I like to add some extra glass for that soft blur effect and add a little bit of extra flash. Since round shapes don't really work with conifer trees, I have to do this part manually, instead of using World Edit. That's our finished product. Now let's take a look what we can do with it. If you stayed until this point, maybe consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. I hope you'll have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.